19.3 trillion liters of water entered the Great Lakes in the first 12 days of April. Over the next month and a half, record rainfalls continued. By the end of May, water levels in the St. Lawrence River were the highest they have ever been recorded. Nearly a dozen cities and counties around Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence were placed under states of emergency, and thousands of people were evacuated from affected areas. This is what the impact in the Thousand Islands has looked like. I spoke to a couple of people about how these high waters have affected their businesses, and the general view was a disappointment in this event, but a strong optimism in spite of it. I talked to Peter Johnson of Hoc Marine, and he told me that early in May, they were bringing more boats back out of the water than they were putting in, because people had requested that their boat be put in, only to realize that their docks were underwater or entirely washed away. He said that they'd run into some other problems with the water levels affecting their infrastructure, but that they quickly overcame these issues and were feeling hopeful about the rest of the season. When I sat down with Chris McCartney, he told me that the Gananoque boat line was running smoothly after a couple of brief delays at the beginning of the season, and that the biggest financial impact had been the need to modify existing infrastructure to handle the higher waters. He said that going forward, they now have the equipment to work through this should it happen again in the future. Overall, he does not believe this to be adversely affecting tourism, and the impact it has had on the Gananoque boat line has been met with a strong resilience. When I spoke with Brett Christopher, he explained that they'll have to almost entirely rebuild their dock in the fall, but business as usual has not been affected by the waters. He told me they're still looking forward to a great 35th season in spite of it. There's a lot of discussion about the cause and effect of this and what the long-term outlook from here is, and questions remain about what impact high waters have on wildlife and biodiversity in the region. But even when waters run high, things are looking up for Gan.